Have you ever had a marketing campaign that's doing real well and then all of a sudden it's no longer working? Marketing fatigue is real and we've all had it. Today we're going to discuss a strategy that will help fix that. It's called the 70-20-10 strategy. And then we're going to talk about how to split up the day to be more productive, whether it's in marketing or sales. And you know who we have to talk about this today? We've got an individual by the name of Conrad from Grunt Workers, and in less than 7 minutes, he is going to cover both of these topics so we can give you some extra fuel to make your sales rocket. Conrad.
So today I just wanted to talk about how to reframe how you think about scaling your team for marketing specifically. And there's two audiences, right? There's the marketers who have marketing agencies and they have a budget for a team. And then the other audience that's just starting out. And I want to speak to both of you guys. So for the first one, for the team that has a budget and you're like, hey, we need to expand, here's how I'd suggest framing your team so that you can develop more winning campaigns, which drives more sales and more revenue, right? The first thing is I'd change how your team is organized to match how the sales team is organized. So for a sales team, they're set up into account executives or closers, and then sales development reps or business development representatives who are qualifiers and appointment setters, right? And what that does is it streamlines the closing process for sales reps. For marketing, if you split your marketing team into two, you can do marketing fulfillment specialists on the bottom and strategic managers and developers on the top. And with this, you streamline your campaign production process. And this follows the mantra, the very basic mantra of marketing, which is always be testing. If you streamline the marketing process and streamline your marketing campaign development, you can find winning campaigns faster instead of over leveraging winning campaigns that you've already produced. Campaign fatigue is real. And if you can find out ways to develop winning campaigns faster, it will generate more sales for you. So the first tip is to split up the team from fulfillment specialists and strategic managers to work down that way, right? And that's if you have a budget, right? If you don't have a budget, I'd suggest blocking your time to figure out, okay, this is when I need to focus on social media campaigns. I'm not great at graphics, but there are resources that can help you, right? So still outsource. Instead of taking that responsibility on you, go to Fiverr, go to Upwork, or go to iworker.co. They do amazing work. It is a little slower as far as turnaround, but they can still do the work for you so that you focus on sales and you focus on relationship development and building reliability and validity that you're an expert in that industry. That's my quick high-level tip.
Love it. So let's drill down a little bit more on how you folks at Grunt Workers, for example, would do something with marketing fatigue. So how would you structure something like that so somebody could really wrap their arms around practically how they could do it if they had a small budget?
Yeah, so let's say first, marketing or campaign fatigue is when you found a winning campaign that's developing sales, but you realize, oh no, there's attrition, right? Yep. I'm not getting as much as I was before, right? Even though it was great. So what I do is if you have a budget, I'd create 3 or 4 campaigns that you say, okay, these are similar. They mock this process, but we're going to use different graphics, right? And I'd say, okay, you have a budget, go to Fiverr and say, hey, I need these graphics done, right? Or go to Upwork. And this is what other teams do that are freelancers. Some of them, if they're like, they have a little bit more budget, they use iworker.co. Which does the same thing. They outsource to others who around the world who can do it for you, and they do really quality work. It just takes a little longer as far as revisions and work. And then I'd push those 4 campaigns out and test, and then see which ones are delivering the best, and drop the other ones that aren't. And then you say, okay, now I have 3 campaigns that are producing good results. Let's test another 4. All right, one of those works. Drop those 3. Test another 4, right? And you're always testing that. And if you don't have a budget, it's hard to do this quickly. So usually it's around like 1 to 2 months where you can test it and figure out, as far as budget's concerned, you can figure out which ones win and which one don't. If you have a budget, you could do this a lot faster. It's usually about a 3-week, 4-week turnaround to figure out what's working and what's not. But yeah, that's kind of my tip is figure out 3 areas like, I guess I could be even more specific. If you know Facebook is a channel where your audience is, and you had an awesome video, create another awesome video or two, right? That follows that same model that you had for your other campaign, or similar, right? But says something different. It's a more funny, it's more serious. It's right. It's a different approach using the same methods you did before. If that
That's
makes
brilliant.
sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. So when, for example, back on Facebook, if you're running I don't know, $1,000 a day, or let's make it a little bit easier, $100 a day, what percentage of your marketing budget of that $100 would you take to be testing? So you're performing well, but basically what you're saying is, and we all know it, all good things come to an end, right? And so you need something there to be monitoring, or maybe something else that you could test and could perform a little bit better, right? So do you take 10, 20%? Like, what do you folks normally do over at Grunt?
Yeah, so we do like, I do a 70-20-10 split.
Okay.
So if my budget's 100, I say, okay, $70 goes into what works well. I'm going to take 20 and test it on a new channel, or not a new channel, but a new method of delivering information, right? If this video was serious, let me try a funny video for $20 and see how it performs, right? And then I'd reserve $10 a day to do something that's outrageous, right? Like, that's like, this is my moonshot. This is something that, if it doesn't work, it's fine. I only spent $10 on it a day, no big deal, right? But if it could work, it could be a new way of approaching our product, right? So for some people, it goes back to Seth Godin's purple cow approach, right? So you found something that works. It was a purple cow, but people are familiar with it, so it's becoming a normal cow, right? It's just becoming run of the mill, and it works, right? And you can try different variations, but at the end of the day, it's becoming super familiar. This $10 is reserved for that purple cow moonshot approach, right? So like, it could be completely outrageous. It can be super silly, super serious, whatever it is that you want it to be. It's just something that's different. So,
Man, Conrad, that was awesome. How could folks learn more about you?
yeah, so there's a few ways. If you want to learn about Grunt Workers, our company, you just go to gruntworkers.com. It's an easy domain to remember. If you want to know about me personally, go to LinkedIn and look up Conrad Zolman. I have a little cloud next to my name. So that's how you can find me, on LinkedIn or gruntworkers.com.